So it's leg 28, day 1, York to Beverley. Rather appropriately, in God's own county today, I've got one of God's finest, the racing chaplain, Simon Bailey, with me to walk this 35 odd miles to Beverley. And equally appropriately, I think Simon's obviously had a word with our friend upstairs, because he's delivered the most magnificent weather. I'm going to have a word with Simon in a little while and ask if perhaps he could arrange just a little bit more breeze, because it is pretty warm today, and I suspect by mid-afternoon we're going to be getting pretty hot. But it's glorious. The walk today, we're going to aim to do about 25 miles or so to Bishop's Wheaton. The route is very flat, I'm pleased to say, on a hot day, and is quite footpath orientated, so hopefully, like the rest of Yorkshire, the footpaths will be beautifully maintained and trimmed, and the stiles will be well maintained and in good order, and everything signed well, because in hot weather I have been known to get just a little bit angsty, that sort of thing not being done properly. But for the time being, it's walk on. Leg 28, day 1, early afternoon. We're about 14 miles in, having a lovely walk across the relatively flat lands east of York, and joy of joys, we've hit a canal. Not what I would describe as a large canal that everyone will have heard of, like the Grand Union Canal, but the Pocklington Canal, which is a little canal 9 miles long that fell into disuse a considerable time ago now, but a local trust has been set up to maintain and look after the canal and the locks. There are working locks on the canal by all accounts. I have to say the water itself, as you can see at this little point here, is moving, but not greatly. It's an awful lot of water lily action. It's so pretty, wildflowers everywhere. So once again I find myself in one of my favourite environments on the banks of a canal. Walk on. Leg 28, day 2, York to Beverley. We've got a bit of a change of lineup this morning. They're hanging back, but we've lost missing in action Simon Bailey, who walked with me yesterday for 24 miles, and I think it would be fair to say, without being remotely disparaging in any way, shape or form, that Simon was feeling the pressure a bit late on yesterday, and very uncomfortable with a cramp down the front of his shins. And anyway, so Simon, I think, has very sensibly decided to rest up this morning and to join us at Beverley for the course walk. But I have with me two other walkers today. Minty and I have been unbelievably fortunate to have been staying with Milo Manton at Horton Hall, and we've had the most wonderful 2 nights. And yesterday, an old army friend of Milo's turned up, Charles Fraser, on his way back down from Scotland. And last night, over a rather bizarre Sardinian liqueur, which I'm not quite sure what it was, we couldn't work out what was in it, but we're all alive to tell the tale this morning. But Charles suddenly announced last night that before driving back down to West Sussex, that he would come along for the 12 miles to Beverley. So we have Charles. We're also very fortunate, I'm very fortunate this morning to have Grant Harris with us as well, who is, I think I'm right in saying, Chief Executive of the British Racing School in Newmarket, which is a place I haven't been to for a very long time. A very, very dear old friend of my mother-in-law's by the name of Barney Griffiths used to run the British Racing School many moons ago, and Barney and Anne were great friends of my father's, actually. So anyway, Grant's done a phenomenal job, because Minty forgot to email him last night to tell him when we were starting, and he's had a fearful rush to get up here in time from Stamford, but he's done very well indeed. The weather is set reasonably fair. I think it's going to be very unpleasant down south again today, but happily we'll miss all that. As I said, we've got about 12 miles to Beverley. The course walk is going to be a very busy one. We've got lots of Pony Club mums, we've got Serena Brotherton, Milo, I'm pleased to say, is going to come along and walk as well. And it should be a lovely day. We've got the walk in the courses handicap, the first race on the card. For the moment, it's walk on. Leg 28, day 2, little update. Our number of 3 has been inflated by none other than mine host, Milo Manton, who, fag in hand, has met us in Bishop Burn, about 2 miles short of Beverley, and is going to walk to Beverley with us, walk round the course and then walk back to Bishop Burn where he left his car. He says he's having a fag now because he doesn't want to be seen smoking one on the race course as we walk the course. My hunch is, having met him a couple of days ago and seen his capacity for cigarettes, there's every chance that he might have a cheeky little one somewhere down the back. But we'll see. Walk on.
More than an hour I will.
So leg 28 from York to Beverley, following a very busy course walk, as you can see behind me. Leg 28 is complete. I've had a fantastic time, had a lovely couple of nights staying with Milo Manton, which was great fun. Walked this morning with Grant Harris from the British Racing School, and Charles Fraser. Had an absolute ball, completely loved it. Got the day's racing coming up now, but I can now declare leg 28 well and truly complete.